Hello and welcome to the second monthly Néit Esports tournament. This time it is a 3v3. We have the upper finals for you coming up very shortly. We're just waiting on some people to join into the lobby. But in the meantime, while we're waiting for that to happen, I have alongside me once again the very lovely Large Ryan.
Greetings and salutations. Back again to cast another tournament from Néit. This is going to be another interesting one, considering the two teams we have coming up right now. Oh.
Sorry, I'm just getting a message from one of the players. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup. Okay, so if you were here for the last stream, which was our April 2v2 tournament, the winners of that was rounds, and the winning team, which was rounds, was Fincy and Renshiro. Now rounds is making a comeback to our Néit Esports tournaments in the May 3v3. That being said, it's not Renshiro and Fincy. It's Renshiro, Alex, and Jarku versus Fincy, who has put together his own team consisting of himself, Tossus, and Silas. So it's winners versus each other, but in different teams. It's going to be a very special matchup coming up for you. It looks to me like the players have just joined in there.
We only have one team at the moment. We're still waiting on Fincito to get his team in here. Because I'm seeing... oh, unless that's everyone. I'm seeing Renshiro, Alex, Tossies, Finzy, and Silas.
I'm seeing everybody in the lobby now. There we go. There's 8 of us here. It looks like we're ready to kick off this best of 5 in the upper finals. Of course, the losing team will not be out of the championship just yet. They will be knocked down to the lower bracket, which is ongoing as we speak. But definitely going to be an interesting one to see who will come out on top. Will it be Fincy or will it be Renshiro? Let's get into things.
Okay, letting the players know. Looks like we're going off here.
Join up there. Renshiro,
yes,
Alex,
here we go.
Jarku. Representing the rounds name, the winner of our last tournament. And Fincy bringing together some other players, some new faces to the table. Tosses coming off the sidewall now, getting a touch on that. Everybody's flailing around a little bit for the time being, but you know, it's a best of 5, it's a marathon, not a sprint, so maybe getting to know each other's play styles, find those weak points. Silas going up to the ball, didn't have enough boost and just missing it slightly. Tosses getting a nice clear on that ball. Side of Ren's not making it easy for them. Fincy on the ball, trying to get a flick, but Renshiro knowing his teammates' play style. Tosses getting a touch. Back to Fincy. Renshiro trying to stop the play, trying to stop that clearance. Becoming a possibility. Jarku getting it towards mid. But no, the clearance is there. Alex getting a nice touch on that one. Back towards Renshiro, back in the corner. It's very much the fact that rounds are trying to pile on the pressure onto their opponents at the moment. It seems like Fincito are struggling to get the clearances they need, and Renshiro is going to put the nail in the coffin there, make sure that they didn't get it, securing themselves an early enough lead in this first game.
Yes, as they say, the first goal is always crucial in these type of matches, especially when you have former teammates against each other now with the new team dynamic. You gotta see whether were things perfect the way they were, or is this like a new kind of team dynamic that we'll see for the side of rounds. It's still too soon to say, but from previous experience of these players, Gib, I have to ask, like, are you back in the Renshiro horse or are you back in the Finzi horse?
That's a tough question to ask. It's like asking a filmmaker what's his favorite film. Don't ask me that question. But yeah, again, it's hard. Renshiro was just strong character in the last tournament, but Finzi was also he was one of those players that was there when he needed to be there. The right time, the right moment, getting those goals for themselves, and it's really hard to choose between the two of them. But
yeah, and do remember we did vote Finzi as MVP for the series at the last. I think it was Finzi, was it? That we voted MVP? I could be wrong. Entirely wrong.
It was the opponent of Finzi and Renshiro got MVP
that's
at the end of the day. But definitely Finzi was a runner-up for that position, I'm pretty sure. There was a lot of debate going back and forth after the stream had concluded as to who would actually get it.
Oh, Alex take it to the air with the reset. Going for the musty, doesn't quite get it onto the net. Back into the corner with Renshiro and another attack on net. Darku now defending the high ball. Over to Alex, he has another shot hitting the backboard. Will he get the double? Just a bit too high. Renshiro there to clean up though, and he gets it and slots it bottom right. Very clinical, I would say, Gabe. A lot of passing play going on here. I have to give credit to that. Alex getting the hit down to his teammate Renshiro and able to slot that in bottom right. What a goal. Kick off again. Goes to the side now. Alex again off the wall, hits it high. Finzi there to hit it down again. Renshiro now misses the ball and gets demoed for it. Alex now take it off the same side of the wall. Goes for a reset, goes low, 50s it. Finzi now up in the air. Jarku into the corner of the side of Finzi's team. On net, Renshiro's shot doesn't quite make the connection. Jarku now taking it off the wall. Zero boost, can't make much of a play here. Finzi also hits it to his teammate. Tossies. Not able to quite get there. Renshiro taking it slow. Oh, and a misplay from Renshiro there. Hits it a bit too hard towards Tossie and not able to get back in time for the save. It's a well-needed break from the side of Rounds needed here to get, not Rounds, from Vincito to put some score on the board with a minute and 36 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a little bit confusing with the fact that they are on opposite teams now. But yeah, that was a beautiful goal from the side of Rounds. Vincito, apologies.
Vincito, yeah, Vincito, I made the same mistake. They also have the same tag in their names, so when I look down and I see Finzi, I see the Rounds, and I'm like, oh, it's Team Rounds, you know? So it's hard to make on-the-fly quick corrections here.
Yeah, it does.
Once again,
it does become troublesome. A lot of the times, you end up doing tournaments that have teams with awful names to pronounce, but you know, this time it's the player names getting us confused. That was a beautiful attempt on goal, by the way. I cut you off while you were reacting to it. Alex,
no, that's fine.
Take it off the ceiling. Renshiro trying to get a touch, but it's over him. Finzi in with a shot, but Jarku getting in the way of that beautiful save. But can they get the clearance they need?
Ooh. You have to marvel at the defensive play and power of these players. It's something that every Rocket League player hopes to aspire to hit that level of control with the ball and decision making, and to seeing it firsthand, it's it's a great pleasure.
Yeah,
not quite getting the goal in there.
Definitely an honor to be in a lobby with players of this caliber. Nice win from the side of Rennes. We're going to take this first game in this best of 5 series, but of course it is a best of 5, and we all know how fast the tables can turn.
What? You didn't even finish your sentence and you outed yourself as saying turbos.
You know, you
new words.
Sometimes you gotta run with your mistakes. There's no harm in it.
Yes, embrace it, is like I see. That's what we like to see here from Néit Esports. You gotta embrace your own sort of play here. Is, as I say that, Alex embracing the open net, it seems, and Rounds putting another goal on the board with 3 seconds at the start.
Yeah, that was just seizing the opportunity for himself. Alex scoring a very, very early goal. Is it going to be a case of Rounds are going to be taking another, not significant lead, but a comfortable enough lead for themselves? Jarku trying to play his man there. Fincy reading it too well. Renshiro trying to take it out of the corner. Alex getting a touch off it, but Tosi. Tosis?
I think it's Tossi.
Tossi is, we're getting caught up in the things that aren't really relevant at this moment of time as the ball is in the midfield. Renshiro getting a touch. Tosses trying to play the 50, very closely rolled in, but beautiful save from Silas, just knocking it clear. Alex getting the touch off the back wall, trying to play his man again. Jarku getting a touch, Tosses going in. Renshiro getting the clear back towards Jarku, who doesn't quite get the touch, but Renshiro is going to follow it up into his opponent's corner, trying to pass it back to Alex, but somebody there on the side of Fincito getting the touch. Fincy getting a beautiful save there as well while I was speaking. Jarku trying to bring it out of his opponent's corner. Alex with the ball now, back to Renshiro, trying to get a touch with Fincy, stopping his teammate, or I guess former teammate, at least in the case of Néit Esports tournaments. Silas on the ball now. Jarku getting a touch, playing it back to his own corner where Alex is there to receive, but nobody on the back line. Very closely went in for the side of Fincito, but back to Jarku now. Trying to play it over Silas. Back towards Alex, who's in the corner, who's pulled out of the corner. Going up the ball. Silas going up for it. Not enough boost. Renshiro trying to get the touch, very close to going in, but off the post. We heard the ding. Back to Renshiro now. Fincy gonna get a touch. Renshiro not gonna challenge. Didn't have enough boost for it. Alex back to Tosses. Getting a nice touch, and there's nobody there to stop it. Oh no!
The 50 just went perfectly for Alex right there. Tossi looking to cut that and hit it over, but Alex, seeing the play happening, was able to get the 50 and send it straight towards the net. Rounds now 2-0 with 2 minutes, well, basically 3 minutes remaining.
3 minutes on the clock, but Rounds know the caliber of their opponent. They know that they can do damage in those danger zones, so they'd be wanting to get another goal or two to give themselves that extra bit of wiggle room, make sure that they can secure that lead for themselves to take home this second game in this best of 5. Back to Fincy now. Renshiro gonna go for the challenge, gonna get the flick over him, gonna get a demo on the man in the net. But nothing comes of it just yet. Toss is trying, but it was a triple commit, looked like it, on the back line there, making sure that nothing went in, not giving their opponent that extra bit of boost, that bit of wind in their sails. But Silas is going to make sure they get it, and with the Miku finisher as well.
Hey, it's just a goal explosion, don't get too excited. What a flip reset. I think I had IRT. Toss is in the chat right now, talking about IRT. I'm not sure what I know about this IRT. I'm not sure I understand it. I'm sure other people in the chat can are laughing at me right now and saying, wow, what an idiot, he doesn't know what this is. But Alex now taking up the wall, looking to go towards ceiling, looking for his teammate. No one's there though. Saida is able to cut him off. Renshiro now on the wall, takes soft shots to the corner. Over Finzy. Tossi's there to defend though. Oh no, and Finzy hits it back. Jarku, double, not a chance. Finzy now. Off to the side. Renshiro looking to cut. Not able to. Renshiro up in the wall, up in the air again. Finzy to defend. Saida's now up again. Alex to defend. And Tossi's now his turn to take it into the air. Jarku's there to intercept. Alex on the corner doesn't quite get it. Renshiro pass to Jarku. Jarku puts it on net. Oh! Hits the post at all. Gets the rebound. Wow. That sound of the post. Of the ball hitting the post is gonna haunt us.
Yeah, it already haunts my dreams as it is. It's one of those sound effects that just They didn't need to put it in the game, but it is somewhat funny that it is in the game. But beautiful finish for the sides of Rans now. They have a 2-goal lead against their opponent with 1 minute and 13 seconds left on the clock. Renshiro trying to get a little bit fancy with it. Confuse his markers. Vinci in the corner now. Got full boost. Alex trying to pop it back towards the midfield. Jarku's there to intercept it, get that pass. Renshiro's gonna knock it! I'm not quite sure who we got the bump with that. It's Vinci, it looked like. There it is. Making sure that there was nobody there to stop that from going in. 4-1 to the side of Rans now. 58 seconds left on the clock. It's going to take a miracle for Fincito to get it back. But stranger things have happened. Renshiro now back towards Jarku, but Fincy able to stop that with not much of a trouble to him. Silas making Renshiro's life difficult. Back to Alex now. He's going to go up for it. Knock it towards his own corner. Back towards Jarku, who is there to intercept. Bring it back towards the midfield. Alex getting a nice touch. Renshiro going up for it, trying to read that. Knocking it down, but nobody there to read that pass. Tosses back in the air. Back to Jarku now. He's going to intercept that in the midfield in the air. Renshiro back into his opponent's corner. Vinci on the back line, ready to stop that from becoming anything more dangerous. Tosses getting a nice clearance back into the midfield, but Renshiro able to intercept back towards Alex, but didn't quite get a hard enough touch to knock it back towards the mid, and it's going to be Rans who's going to take game 2. It's all but one game away, securing that position in the grand finals for themselves. They just need to play their cards right, and they will secure that position in the grand finals, which will be, of course, a best of 7. How are we feeling
it seems
now,
some of the
Rob?
players are sorry for cutting off there at the end. It seems like some of the players are experiencing a bit of lag. And I was just checking if they wanted a remake of a lobby, but it seems it's fine.
We can do a remake of a lobby if need be.
No, sorry. The player consensus is that they're fine. It's just it's a Rocket League issue. But you know, there's some, obviously you don't have the chat on at the moment, but there's some debate as to whether some shots should have gone in or shouldn't have, and seems like a player consensus that it's just a Rocket League issue. You can't claim skill on this at the moment. It's all about ping here.
Always a Rocket League issue, isn't it?
Yes, as you've coined that expression, you know, where you miss the open nets. It's oh, I'm lagging, or you know.
I think my excuse was my controller disconnected, but I can't use that one anymore.
No, ever since you got that new cable, I haven't heard that excuse come out once yet. Anyways, back to Rocket League. We have Tossies intercepting the ball. Renshiro off the wall, trying to air dribble it out, but not too much. Alex now taking off him again. Hits it high for him again. Renshiro couldn't get quite past Silas. Into the corner now. Jarku with a shot on net. Hits the post. And that sound plays once again. Silas now with the ball, looking for the flick. Renshiro there to defend. Great defense. Finzi with the shot. Doesn't quite get it. Tossies with the shot. Top right bins. And for the first time now, we have Fincito on the board first.
Yeah, the opening goal from Fincito. Maybe the tides are changing in their favor. It looked to me there that both Renshiro and Alex were in their own net trying to figure out who was going to go for the ball, and Toss is just taking full advantage of that situation as it played out in front of him. Back with another kickoff. We're back into this game again. Toss is on the ball. Doesn't quite have the boost. Jarku going to pass it towards his teammate, but Vinci getting the clearance, getting the save. Silas going up for the ball now. Popping it over his opponent in the air. Nicely done. Toss is back on the ball now. Jarku in the midfield, ready to intercept that back towards Alex in his own corner. Off the backboard now. Getting bumped by his opponent, but Jarku's able to intercept that, and very much a case of a runaway ball that nobody could connect with in time. It's going to be a goal for Jarku.
Yeah, he was looking for that pass on the wall there from Alex. Alex hit it in the center, Silas not able to get around it, and it just ended up being a goal. No one back in time to stop that shot. But Renshiro now taking it off the wall. Doesn't quite make the connection. And it looks like Alex followed him with that. Now Jarku left alone to defend, takes it over one opponent. Tosses get a high ball. We have Renshiro now hitting middle. Alex a bit too far away to commit to that. Hits it back to the corner. Alex out. What a misplay! Oh no! A crucial moment in the game for Fincito here as they capitalize on a mistake from the side of rounds and slot the ball into the net there. I'd say Alex is kicking himself over that one now.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy, and neither are his teammates. Seemed he just didn't quite get the angle on that touch, knocked it the wrong way, and his opponents made full advantage of it. But Renshiro almost bringing it back. Jarku's there to finish the job. It was a beautiful save from the first attempt from Tosses, but Jarku just catching his opponents off guard, making sure it went back of the net for that equalizing goal. 3 minutes left on the clock. Potentially seeming like the side of Fincito are finding their little bit of a stride once again. They were the opening goal in this match. Potentially, if they can get that momentum going again for themselves, they could be giving themselves a lifeline in this best-of-5 series.
Tossi is not able to quite get it past his opponents there for another shot on net. We have Jarku now with no boost. Sada's able to clearly take it over him there. And Finzi now with the shot. Takes it a bit wide. Alex there to intercept anyway. Tossi's now taken up in the air. Goes for the flip reset. Doesn't get it or fakes it. Hits over. Bumps Renshiro. Doesn't quite finish. And Finzi not able to send it into the back of the net. Sada's now taking it off the wall. Renshiro up to defect. Tosses into the corner. It bops out. Is Finzi there to take it? No. Unfortunately, he covers from Jarku. Back again. Playing quite slowly now. Jarku on the ball. Oh, miss again from Finzi. Oh, no.
Seemed like a moment of panic there. Finzi knew he had to go for the ball, but didn't quite have the boost to get into the air, and missing it, leaving his teammate to get demoed by Jarku, and it's going to be another goal for the side of Rounds, taking the lead once again in this series. 1 minute and 58 seconds left on the clock. Can Fincito bring it back, potentially for our first overtime of the evening? It all comes down to the next minute and a half. What will come of it? It seems very scrappy when Fincito get on the ball towards their opponent's net. With Silas off in the air now, trying to get the second touch, but didn't quite have the boost to get back up to the ball. Finzi gonna get a nice clearance, but Jarku able to intercept in the midfield, bringing it down to Finzi there to read that, knew where his opponent was gonna take that. Alex getting a nice touch off that ball, making sure it doesn't go anywhere near his net. Silas cutting him out towards his own back line, getting the ball that way. Alex making sure he doesn't make the same mistake twice. Tosses is making his life difficult to make that clearance. Finzi gonna bringing it back towards his opponent's corner now. Renshiro off the wall, making that read, and it's almost an open net, but oh wow, Alex managing to get in there right in the nick of time to stop that from becoming anything more dangerous. The play continues. Renshiro making sure that he could almost... He was confusing me there. Back to Jarku now. Trying to get the touch. Didn't quite get it. Into the back of the net.
Opportunity there from Fincito's team. Not able to quite capitalize on it here. Jarku had taking it in the air. Oh, and Alex was shot on net. Doesn't quite get it. Finzi able to save it. Finzi now with a shot on. Renshiro up in the air. Tossi didn't quite get the bump. Finzi hits the middle now to Renshiro. That seemed to be a mistake. Oh, and it's around Silas for another goal. Yeah. 10 seconds remaining. Fincito looking a bit dire for... Things look a bit dire for Fincito at the moment. They need 2 goals to hit the overtime with 10 seconds remaining. It doesn't seem likely, but we have seen comebacks before, and that's what Rocket League's all about.
Yeah, all it takes is 2 kickoff goals, but it's not looking likely. 6 seconds, the countdown is on. 4, 3, 2. Looking like the side of Rams are trying to go for another goal. Don't let the ball touch the ground. There it is. It's going to go to Rounds in this best-of-5 series. They're going to secure themselves that position in the grand finals, I should say.
Yes, this was the final of the upper bracket, and the next on we'll see is the grand final for the entire tournament.
Yes. So next up will be the losers. Sorry, the lower bracket,
Yes, we
but
can't brand them as a losers, Gib. You know, everyone's a winner in Néit Esports
everyone is a
society.
winner. Everyone's no. There's winners and there's
No.
losers,
Oh, wow.
right?
Oh, wow. Didn't know you were so cutthroat like that. I'm seeing a whole new side to you.
But we will be back very shortly. We're going to take a quick break while we wait for the lower quarterfinals to finish up, so we can see who is going into the lower semifinals. And we will be back with you very shortly. So don't go anywhere. And yeah, we'll see you in a few minutes.
See you in a few.
Welcome back to the Néit Esports May 3v3. We are, having a little bit of a change up here. We're going to be showing you the semi-finals of the lower bracket, as well as the regularly scheduled programming. I'm, of course, still joined by the one and only, the lovely Large Ryan, but
Still here.
It's going to be an interesting one because we don't usually do the semifinals. It's usually just the upper finals,
upper and lower finals,
and
the grand finals.
final. But because there was a little bit of a delay on the quarterfinals, we decided to go ahead and show you the semifinals of the lower bracket. So we have Tung.
Well, no, that's not their full name. You couldn't fit the full name into the
Tung Whistle
team name, and then 15.
VDF. So,
Tung Whistle 15. What a name, man.
Man, these names, they get worse and worse the more series you cast, and it's just a curse. The worst name I've ever casted was Oily Rubber.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Like that. And it was.
You should have seen their team name today. You should have seen their name today.
It was their team name.
It was so much worse.
I'm glad I didn't have to cast. Well, I'm sad that people such as Ducky, Jaffa, and a Snorkeler didn't get as far as maybe they had hoped. But here we are.
That's not the team we care about today.
Versus VDF. A minute into this series, I should say. The names are just.
Taking the ball to the corner. We have Phil intercept. Crazen spawns there, taking it off the backboard now with 0 boost. We have I think that name is Baka, which is, I'm cringing as I say it, but we'll go with it anyway. Baka to intercept Dimitri. Hunter up on the wall, takes it down to the corner. Dimitri there to intercept. Baka hits it high, but Dimitri's able to hit the ball. Dimitri now taking it into the corner, looking for the redirect. Gets it back to his teammates. No one there to intercept though, or to put it on target. Phil hit it to the corner. Dimitri with a possible shot now, but Sio able to save it. Or Sio. Okay, we got Crazen. Phil up and into the net. Phil puts the first goal and the first score on the board, I should say. And yeah, I guess VDF have a bit of cloud coming into this game, I imagine, right? Considering they went up against rounds before in the earlier stages of the bracket.
I'm gonna have to pull up the bracket to fact check you.
You will. If I'm wrong, please call me out on it. I didn't check before I said anything, so I could be wrong, but
you are most certainly wrong. VDF went up against Néit Esports and have worked their way. They actually, VDF, sad to say, knocked Néit Esports, our own Néit Esports team, out of the running in the lower bracket. So, fair dues to them. The likes of Waffle, Grady, and AO are not ones to be trifled with, and they've managed to come out on top of that matchup. 2 goals to their name now. Baka not quite knowing what he wants to do with the ball. Very close to going in, but off the crossbar. It was the ping that haunts my nightmares. Back towards Tung side of the pitch now. Craxon? Dimitri bringing it. Oh, apologies. I'm getting all confused. It was VDF bringing it towards their opponent's net. Dimitri getting another goal. Apologies, I have my eyes on the chat. Large Grady, who was recently knocked out by VDF, saying that VDF have been cold in the chat. So VDF apparently very clinical in their approach to knocking others out of the tournament. Of course, the winner of this will be going up against Fincito, who were knocked out of the upper bracket by rounds, I should say. So definitely quite an opponent to be going up against in the lower finals.
Crazy now is they've this team of VDF really came charging up the gates with 2 goals in the first minute and a half or 2 minutes of the first game. They really shown their aggressive approach and attack, and it seems that the side of Tung are finding their legs a bit too late. As I say that, Baka putting a goal onto net here. Now, I did say before I had some reservations about his name, but I take all that back now since he put this beautiful ball into net. Taking that 50 away from VDF and scoring another goal.
I don't think I can ever take you seriously saying the word backup, but another kickoff. 3-1 to the side of VDF now. So the side of Tung definitely trying to claw their way back, but VDF not going to be making it easy for themselves. Dimitri going to secure another goal for themselves, increasing their lead by 3 goals now. Looking like VDF just knocking it, or Dimitri, I should say, knocking it into his opponent who knocked it into the goal. Wasn't going to stop that from going in. Another kickoff with 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. Dimitri bringing it out of the corner towards mid. What a beautiful save from the side of Tung. Braxton now. Back to Phil. What's he going to do? He's looking like he's passing it back to Dimitri. He's going to get a touch back towards the midfield. Didn't quite have enough boost to finish that one off, but Phil getting a nice attempt on goal, a little bit too high. Dimitri trying his luck as well, but bringing it back to his own corner, getting that boost. Back and now with the ball towards his teammate, over the net, a little bit high. Craxton now trying to psych out his opponent. Back to Dimitri, but Shunta getting the interception. Back to Phil now. Back to the side of VDF's corner. Craxton managing to clear that away from his opponent just in the nick of time. Seo?
Seo, I think. Seo is his name, I believe. Some interesting names, alright. But Seo gets the ball back towards the net. Baka's not able to put it onto target, just shy of the net here. But Crazy, as I say that, Crazy putting the ball into net from the other side of the pitch. You have to give commendations to the team of VDF here. They've really shown their capabilities here now, and you gotta wonder if the side of Tung are be able to find their legs in their defense, or maybe just increase their attack. They have shown they can put balls on target. It's just a matter of putting it into the back of the net is what they need to figure out.
Yeah, I think possibly this game is not going to be the one for them, but they have another chance in the second game in this best of 3 series. I don't think we said that before, whereas the semifinals being a best of 3, the finals being a best of 5. VDF is going to take the first game in this best of 3 though, and potentially trying to close it out early to move on to that lower finals for themselves. Looking like we have lost Hunter out of the lobby temporarily.
Yes, he's restarting his game. It seems that he had some issues with his PC. He's just gonna do a quick restart. So while we wait, we could just analyze the game a bit further. It seemed that VDF strong foothold in the first half of the game, and then we had a nice goal from the side of Tung. It seemed to be crawling back a little bit, but not enough to gain an advantage into competing for winning this game. Now that could all change in the second one. You know, we have seen teams being reverse swept before. It's never not gonna happen again. Both sides showed they're capable. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that Tung could bring back some life into their game here?
Yeah, I think it is a possibility. Now, unfortunately, they don't really, in a best of 3, they don't really have the amount of time, say, in a best of 5 that they would have to kind of learn their opponents as well. And maybe it was a case of Tung were just feeling that they were trying to feel out their opponent that little bit more, trying to get more of a read on them, and just didn't quite work out in their favor. But now, going into this second game in this best of 3 series, have more of a back-end knowledge of what their opponents are like and can use that to their own advantage. going into this game too. Starting off strong, looking like Tung trying to keep the pressure onto their opponent's net, but VDF getting the clearance for the time being. Hunter on the ball now, but Kraxen able to stop that, cut that play out in the midfield. Getting a nice touch off the back wall. Nice little pinch, but not enough. Dimitri going to be trying to move it into the mid section, but getting not clear to their own corner. Tung are looking on the defensive now, looking like it was going to be. I saw it with my own two eyes. Dimitri finishing off that beautiful little bit of teamwork. Looking like Kraxen was trying to knock it in, and Dimitri getting
very close. Yes, he didn't quite get that second flip reset that he was searching for, and Baka had almost come off the top ropes of the net to try and save it, but they answered back with a kickoff goal of their own.
Yeah, you gotta be asking yourself, what happened? Nobody was.
It seemed like Dimitri had just turned a bit early and went to the left side of the ball, whereas CEO just powered through. It seems that's the play of these guys here. They just kind of trust in the 50 for the kickoff and just go straight. And even if they don't get the ball, they still get a demo on the second man that's coming up. It's a valid strategy, I have to say. Hunter now with a shot on net. Baka's there, maybe. Not quite. He does get the boost though. Staying on the ball for a chance. Not quite. Crazy now off the wall. Doesn't quite get it. CEO now for the redirect. Oh, just doesn't quite get it in. Shuts down. Phil now on the backboard, taking it slow. He's got a little bit of boost. Takes it low. Bumps Crazy in the process. Back in now with a shot. Oh, near post. Hunter now up for thing. Backboard doesn't quite get it. CEO trying to slow him down a bit to give his teammates time to rotate back. Dimitri now takes to the save. Bill, it's it high. Dimitri just misses. Hunter also misses. Someone's got to cover. And he does. Baka makes a brilliant save. CEO now off the wall. Goes for the reset. Nice 50 out. Crazy now hits it up to the backboard. Baka's up to intercept. Crazy in the corner. Hunter shuts it down. Dimitri hits it up. Baka now taking it slow. Faces the wrong way back, and Dimitri now to cut it over. Zero boost on the wall. CEO now hits it out to the middle. Hunter's there to get it. Doesn't quite get the pass back he's looking for. Baka now to the shot on net. Hits it a bit high. And Dimitri clears it out to the side.
Oh. Looking like an open net there! There it is!
Oh no. VDF. Not able to quite clearly communicate. Hunter with the brilliant bump and Crazy just not able to get back in time. And CEO sees the gap and slots it in.
That was a beautiful team goal there. Hunter managing to get the bump on his opponent, clear that extra defender out of the way, and Dimitri and Crazy just not able to get back in time, but they're looking like they're out for blood at the moment, trying to get the ball moving up quickly towards their opponent's net, but that attack fizzled out almost as quickly as it became a reality. Now, looking like Tung trying to pile on the pressure. CEO going up for the ball, but missing it. Back to Baka now in his own corner, trying to get the clearance away from Dimitri. He knows his opponent is dangerous in those positions, bringing it up towards the mid area, but Phil trying to go for the ball and misses it. Back to Hunter now, trying to center the ball for his team, but Phil gonna get the clearance. CEO back on the ball again. Baka trying to get in a good position. Not a great angle for him to take a shot on that one. Back to Hunter now in his own corner. What can he do with this? Not much, because Dimitri's going to make his life a living hell to try and get that ball away. Crazy back up with the ball. CEO getting a bump, but not getting the ball itself. Back into the midfield of the Baka now. But Phil able to stop that play from becoming anything dangerous. CEO on the ball now, getting bumped by his opponent. Back to Baka, who's going to play it over his opponent. CEO potentially in a position to make a clearance here, but Crazy not making it easy. Phil almost in, and it's rolling around!
Oh, the double post. Oh my god. Hunter now in the midfield. Oh my god. Baka with another save, hits it to the corner. Dimitri's up, but CEO hits it over. Crazy now, defending the backboard. Does get the touch he needs. And Baka controlling the net now. Leaves it for Hunter. But Dimitri hits it up into the middle. Baka intercept. Crazen with the last minute touch. Hunter now hitting it here. Doesn't get the double tap he needed. CO taking it to the side. He's gonna play a bit slow. He's taking it off the wall. Fakes out Crazen. Fills up there to intercept. Baka now hits it up for his teammate. Bit risky play here as they're rotating back their man. Crazen now seems an open net. Filled. Oh, just missed. The team play was nearly there. Dimitri now off the wall. CO tries to intercept, not quite. Phil shot on net. Baka. Oh, what a save. Hunter, and oh, just couldn't quite get out of that entanglement in the corner of the net.
Yeah, it looked like a double commit there. Hunter knocking Baka further into their own net. Nobody was able to come out front just in time to stop that from going in. It is 2-2. Even Stevens with 20 seconds left on the clock. Dimitri bringing it into his opponent's corner. 0 boost. Baka able to make the clearance, but Craxon making it difficult to get it any further than his own back area of the pitch. The countdown is on. It's looking like it could potentially be a goal for the side of VDF, but the clearance is there. Don't let the ball touch the ground. That is number 2 rule.
Hunter now. Oh, Phil hits it high. Crazen looking for it down. Doesn't quite get it. Dimitri now. What a save from CO. Crazen on 0 boost gets bumped. Baka hits it down, and that's overtime.
This is the lifeline that Tongue Whistle 15 have been looking for. Double demo there. 2 players off the field temporarily, but nothing comes of it. The first overtime of the evening. Baka getting a nice interception, but oh, it's almost an open net.
Oh, Crazen saving the goal. 9 Hunter now to intercept, doesn't quite get it. CO takes it to the air. It's in the middle. Crazen now trying to take it slow. Hits it to his teammate. Baka's there to intercept though. Gets a 50 out. Hunter's there but can't challenge. See now. Takes the boost in his own corner. Dimitri with the flick. CO hits it out to Crazen. Crazen over Crazen at the moment. It's off the side. It seems to be an open net. Crazen there to defend. CO now with a shot. Dimitri also covering. Hunter's up now. Hits to the side. Dimitri there to also intercept again. This man is everywhere. And that's an open net. Oh no.
That is the final nail in the coffin. Tongue, Whistle 15 knocked out of the tournament and looking like VDF are moving on to face Fincito in the lower finals. It's all starting to ramp up now. That was a good matchup, I will say. Tongue definitely seemed to be coming
very
back
capable
from
team.
that. They were very capable. Team. They seemed a little bit shaky at the start, and then managing to get themselves back in there for the second game. We are, of course, going to take just a very quick 2-minute break while we set up the next lobby for the lower finals. So please do not go anywhere. I'm going to throw some music on, and we'll be right back with you. welcome back to the lower finals of this tournament. my brain is fried, if you can't tell. A lot of Rocket League has been happening today. We are here with Fincito, the team that was knocked out of the upper bracket by rounds, versus VDF, who you just saw knock out Tung Whistle 15 in the semi-finals of the lower bracket. Definitely a matchup I'm excited for. How are you feeling about this one, Ryan?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we got to see VDF play a really good lower finals there. The lower finals.
Lower semis.
Just lower semis, apologies. Against Tung. So, and we also saw like what Fincito are capable of against rounds. So this will be a good game to see who would it be a revenge match for Fincito's team, or would it be the underdogs coming up to fight rounds in the grand finals? Oh my days, that was a bad one. That seems I need a drink. Yeah, so no, as you can tell, I'm a bit excited. And as I say that, Finci scores a beautiful goal in the bottom left corner there.
Yeah, soaring through the air, managing to get that past two defenders, and just looking like they didn't really know what to make of that situation. But that is the opening goal. 52 seconds into this game in this best of 5 series. Definitely, like Ryan just said, an interesting matchup. Part of me always wants to root for the underdog, and in this case, it would be VDF who would be, the underdog, I guess, being that they were knocked down to the lower bracket quite early on in this tournament, but definitely going to be... I feel like it's definitely going to be a very goal-heavy series, but that being said, Phil playing it safe in the midfield area. Silas going up to meet the ball. Dimitri knocking it to his own corner. Silas getting a touch back to Tossis. Dimitri able to clear that back into his own corner towards Phil. Raisin now on the ball, getting the second touch, but Tossis there, able to stop the ball twice, managing to get the clearance. Fincy taking it off the wall. He's on 0 boost, but what can he make of this situation? Phil gonna come up to meet the ball there, make sure nothing happens. Tossis in a prime position, but getting blocked by Crazen. Dimitri gonna take it off the wall, back towards Phil, who's gonna send it for the equalizer.
That was a great team play right there. Seeing Dimitri take it up the wall. Finzi was unexpecting. Great pass out of center, and Phil just beat Silas to the ball, slotting it into the net.
That was a beautiful team play. I'm almost at a loss for words there. Just,
You've been at a loss for words the last 2 series now. It's they must be doing something right. As I say that, and Silas comes back with a bang. He must be listening to the stream. Just manages to get that double tap in. It does hit the crossbar at the start, but it works in his favor and gets it into the net at the last touch.
Yeah, Fincito, I should say, trying to show VDF that they're not here to mess around. They're here to take home this lower finals, secure that position in the grand finals, which will of course be a best of 7 as Tossis makes that lead in goals even bigger. 2 ahead now. Beautiful finish from Tossis, just being in the right place at the right moment. Like I was saying, grand finals is of course a best of 7 rounds. Will have a 1-game advantage going into it. But can VDF make the comeback in this first game? Of course, they are still feeling out each other. That being, trying to find that weak point in a defense, trying to identify it, or maybe in an attack and see where the counterattack can come from. Tosses bringing the ball up. Silas moving out of his way. Dimitri gonna get a nice clearance towards his own corner. Back to Silas now. Phil taking Silas out for a second there, trying to get a bump. Braxton getting it, but Fincy able to finish that out. Beautiful. Again, Fincy, we talked about this at the start of the stream, in that Fincy was one of those players last tournament that was just in the right place at the right time, every single time.
Yes, but I have to say, Silas did make that goal happen. He somehow got he flipped into the ball, got the reset, flicked it up, which allowed Finzi to be able to hit it down into the net and just beat the last defender. All credits, I would say, go to Silas on that one. Finzi was just there to mop it up. Once again, now Dimitri taking it off the ceiling. It's low. Craze looking for the demo. Phil onto net now, and it looks like they're back in the game, although with a 2-goal deficit. You can see Crazen just hunting him down there. Not able to get away, and ends up being a goal.
Yeah, I definitely a fan of that little bit of that demo hunting, as it looked like Phil was demo hunting Fincy there, but was the one that got demoed in the end. Fincy going to be knocking it towards the midfield, but Phil able to intercept that in the air. Silas bringing it back down towards his opponent's goal, but Craxon able to stop that play from becoming anything for the time being. Phil getting in the way of Fincy, getting a nice 50. Back to Dimitri, who's going to be taking it off the wall. But Silas able to stop that from becoming anything. Fincy, ooh, beautiful touch from him. Trying to set up. Doesn't need to center it. It's an open net, and he's going to slot that in. Not much of a bother to him at all.
Yeah, getting that 50 from Crazen was crucial there, as I believe it was Posse who got a bump onto Phil, not allowed him to get back in time to defend that shot, and just being able to slot that goal in. Now, Crazen hits it back for his teammate Dimitri, hits it high. Silas is able to hit it back to the corner and does get the other touch. He needs to get it past Dimitri. Tried a 50 field, doesn't quite get it, but Tossi off the backboard, hitting it high. Finzi can't go, hits it center, back to his own teammate. Finzi now taking it to the wall, hits it over Phil. Dimitri now hits it high. Phil looking for something, but can't quite get the touch he needs. Tossi now going for the full court air dribble, doesn't quite get it. It's bumped out by Dimitri. Now Crazen takes it high, go for one reset, he got it. Finzi now with no boost, trying to defend the backboard, and Silas with an amazing save. Once again, Tossi in the air. Crazen hits it to his teammate. Phil manages to get a touch around Finzi. Silas going for the 50 again. Crazen with a shot on net, doesn't quite get it, covered by Finzi.
Oh, real one going on. It's now a 2v2. Dimitri's gonna knock it in.
Doesn't last too long. I was gonna say we have to see if these players will commit to the 1v1, and it looks like they had. While Dimitri just using all his boosts to get to the ceiling to knock it into the net there. Sparing the two players from disconnecting from the game for being AFK, essentially.
You love to see it. I love when people actually commit to a 1v1, and I am very disappointed when they don't. Dimitri bringing it up high. Looks like Crazen was trying to get a touch on that, but it's going to touch the ground, and Fincito is going to take this game 1 in this best-of-5 series, giving them a little bit of an advantage going into game 2, but VDF definitely have it in them to take another game.
Okay, I've just been informed that Tossi is actually pronounced Tossis. Tossis.
Tosses.
Tossis.
Apologies,
thank you, D-Lynch, for that. Thank you, D-Lynch, for that. We call him Tossi all day. Sounds like an insult, but it's not, I promise. Also, a request from your co-founder is to make D-Lynch a moderator there, if you wouldn't mind.
I will.
Since I don't have that power. I don't know why Owen can't do it. Is he not? Oh, that's right, because he's not Nate.
I will make sure that is...
You'll make sure that happens at some stage.
I'll make sure that happens.
Yeah, so Finzi in the air, going for the reset here. Phil intercepts, back to the corner for Dimitri. Takes it in the air, but Silas off the ceiling, gets the intercept. Can't make anything off it happen though. Crazen to the center now. Dimitri coming to intercept, takes it to the wall. He's looking to make a play here. We got Crazen on the left side. But Finzi just cuts him off before he can make a play. Oh. Great. Pass to Finzi. But doesn't get back very far. Silas now with the 50. Does get past. Takes it off the wall. Tries to get a catch. Almost the bump as well. But Dimitri now with a seemingly open net. Does he get in? He does. Silas not able to get back in time. Being harassed by, I believe it was Phil. And not able to defend the shot in time. Another great example of team play there.
Apologies, I was preoccupied making a moderator on Twitch there, but looking like VDF have taken the lead in this second game. Grayson going up for it, getting a nice touch on the ball. Dimitri hunting down for boost, but there was none in the midfield for him. Back to Grayson now, who's going to take it out of the corner. Back to Phil now. Grayson bringing it up towards his opponent's corner. Dimitri trying to read that pass, but also trying to make sure that that clear ball doesn't go into the back of his own net, and there's nobody there to stop it. Vinci gonna secure that even Stevens game for themselves.
The even Stevens good. The even Stevens shot, I guess you can call that. Finzi slotting that in the bottom right. No defender able to get there in time for the equalizer. Tosses now with the ball heading towards their own corner. Dimitri takes it off the wall. We have Silas there to intercept, and Finzi now with a shot. Doesn't quite get it. Crazy now hits it over to Phil, who's going to hit it back center. Dimitri not able to put it on net. Ball for Silas, hits it middle. Phil hits it to the side. Crazy doesn't get the double touch. Dimitri now with a shot, and Toss is able to save it. Phil now into the corner, back center. We have Silas on the wall, chasing the ball, but Finzi likes to take control. Never mind, it was a fake. And Tossis now getting control. Finzi cutting again here. It seems like they're all in the same place at the same time. Crazen hitting it high. Gets bumped though. Hits it high again. Over his teammate it seems. Dimitri waiting. Finzi with a shot, but Crazen able to save it. Ooh, just doesn't get there. Dimitri now. Gets it off the wall. Demo from Silas. Tossis now looking to make a play here. Doesn't quite get it. Crazen going for the attempt, but doesn't also make the ball. Silas now on the wall. Zero boost. What can he do? He fakes it. Doesn't get the bump. And Finzi now challenged with the 50. Tosses there. Hits it high. But Phil intercepting. Tosses now again. And Silas to take over. Gets it over, but gets another touch that he might not have wanted. Oh, God, Gib, it's like back and forth with these two teams.
Yeah, it is really a ping-pong affair. Dimitri now in a position, but Vinci getting the clearance back to Crazen in the midfield. Phil is going to take that from underneath him. Tosses on the ball, taking it high, bringing it down for the full pitch dribble, but Dimitri's going to stop him in his tracks. Vinci's going to come up. It's going to... Oh, it looked like it was going to hit the crossbar, but Crazen able to get the clearance back to his own corner. Tosses, bring it back mid in his opponent's side of the pitch, but back to Vinci now. He's got the ball, but Phil going to get a touch on that, make it back towards the midfield. Silas looking like he was going to go for the ball. Dimitri is demo chasing everybody. I can see him in the background. Phil with a nice attempt on goal, a little bit high. Dimitri, another one, but Vinci able to clear that nicely towards his opponent's side of the pitch. Phil back to Crazen now. What can he make of this situation? Looking like he's passing it to Dimitri, and it was almost going for goal, but Silas managing to get in there right in the nick of time to stop that from becoming an unequal scoreboard. Crazen on the ball now, trying to play his man. A little bit wide on that one. Vinci, ball boost. What can he make of this situation? Gonna play it safe. Go under one and over the other towards the back of his opponent's net. Tosses. Looking like he's passing it back to himself so he can get that boost, but Dimitri's going to take full advantage of that situation. Silas getting a touch on that off the backboard. 10 or 30 seconds left on the clock. Still 1-all.
Oh,
never mind.
Oh, God. That had to be the biggest blunder of the 3v3 tournament right here. Phil, he's been playing so well. Just missed it off the backboard, comes down and it just hits the back end of his card, slots it into the goal. I'm sorry, I should have laughed at that, but that was so unlucky.
It was so unfortunate for Phil, but it seems it has to happen. There has to be at least one unintentional own goal in our tournaments. It happened a couple of times in April, but now 2-1 to the side of Vincito. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Don't let the ball touch the ground. But looking like
Oh, crazy. Nearly.
looking like Vincito are trying to force it. Another game to them in this best of 5. They now only need one more win to secure themselves that position in the grand finals in that best of 7 for a rematch against Rounds.
That was I have to say it was a very, very close match right there, and it was unfortunate that Phil had the own goal. I'm sure he'd be kicking himself and looking to prove himself in this game now, as we come into the potentially final game of this best of 5. Will Vincito be able to take this home, or will VDF have a comeback in the coming 5 minutes? And I say that, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, as Vincito take the first goal in 5 seconds. It just seemed to go their way. Toss is able to slot that in where Dimitri wasn't, and it just good placement right there.
It seemed like a little bit of panic on the side of VDF and their defense. It seemed like everybody wants to go for the ball, but we're waiting for their teammate to go for it, and then nobody went for it until Dimitri went for it, and then they got scored on ultimately in the end. But double commit there from Brazen and Phil. Dimitri trying to get it off the ceiling. Phil, 0 boost. What can he make of this? Nice 50 for him, and his teammate bumping him gives him the boost. Brazen now passing it back towards Dimitri. He's shot on goal, but Fincy in the way to stop that. Silas off the wall. Back to Crazen now, who gets a nice touch, stopping that for the time being. Back into the midfield. Tosses on the ball now. What can he make of this situation? He's on 0 boost. Fincy coming in, trying to slot that past the defense, but back to Phil now. He's going to bring it down into the midfield. He's on 0 boost. Dimitri coming up to follow that one. Back into his opponent's corner. Looking like Dimitri's trying to demo chase there a little bit. Silas back on the ball, but Phil coming in very smoothly, making sure that didn't become a dangerous position for the time being. But now Crazen back on the ball. What can he make of this? Fincy cutting him out, but back to Dimitri, who's got a shot on goal, but Tosses is managing to slot that away, knock it back towards his opponent's side of the pitch. Crazen double committing on his own teammate there. Phil back with the ball now in the midfield pass, knocking it over Fincy.
Oh, is that a goal for VDF right there?
It is.
It is Dimitri. Let's see, Silas wasn't able to read it, and oh, that looked like Crazen scored it. No,
it looked like Crazen scored it, but
it must have slipped off his wheel or something at the very last second, and Dimitri takes credit for that goal there.
Yeah, just rolling into the back of their opponent's net. They're gonna be happy about that one. You know, those goals, they come around once in a while, but back into play now. Dimitri, but Tosses able to stop that. Tosses has been very consistent with his defending in goal. I'm not sure if you picked up on that yourself, Ryan, but he's always kind of sitting around in that position when he needs to be and stopping goals from going in, and it's proved very effective for them as Silas manages to get it past 2 markers and an open goal. He's not going to miss it from that distance.
Yeah, it's as you said, it might be the key point for Vincito that allows them to go back to the grand final to face Rounds again if VDF aren't able to put any more points on the board here. As I say that, they have attack now. Dimitri hits it high, and we have Phil taking the ball, hits it over to the backboard. Finzi not able to read it, and oh, crazy, what a save from Silas. Not able to get the goal they needed there. That would have been an equalizer right there with 2 minutes left. And Tosses, oh, Dimitri, what a save. Not enough power from Tosses to put that into the net. And Finzi now a bit awkward in the middle. Gets the 50 and hits it back over to VDF's side. Silas not able to get the redirect he wanted there. Phil now hitting it long. Toss is able to intercept and heads back over Dimitri where he can take his time with this ball now. Silas rushing, knocks him out of the way. Phil's now up, gets it over 1. Does he have the double? Not quite. Sad is able to redirect over now. Phil might have another chance here. Doesn't quite get tossed able to intercept. Crazen now hits it back to his teammate Phil. Off to the side. Teams are all clumped up in one area here. Dimitri with a shot. Toss is able to dodge the demo and save the ball.
I'm
Phil.
flabbergasted. If you could see my face right now, my mouth is agape because these are some incredible plays we've been seeing. You know, the defense of the side of Fincito has just been impeccable in this matchup here. A double demo from Fincy now. He's on full boost. He's going to be trying to take it off the wall, but Crazen managing to intercept that. Back to Dimitri now. He's going to be taking it off the wall towards his opponent's net. Back to Phil. Phil missed the ball!
We would have been chanting Phil's name if he had scored that ball, I tell you how much. Now Dimitri has another chance. Hits it back. Phil with another chance here. Oh, inside is able to shut it down. Phil, once again, does he get the touch? He does. Is Dimitri there to cover? No, he isn't. Sada's now with the pinch. Dimitri with a pinch. Seems like it's slowing down a bit now. Phil again. Hits it over 1. Gets it over 2. Crazy to hit it. Dimitri. Oh, it's a bit too close for his liking. Hits it back to Phil. Gets it over 1. Toss is there to save it. Crazy with the shot. Oh, Phil just can't get the ball all the time. Toss is now. What is he going to do here? Gets it past 1. Finzi hits it over. Dimitri's there to cover though. Oh, Sada's at the demo. There's a chance on net here. Crazen. Phil hits it high. Toss this with a shot. No, not on target. And Phil now takes it to the skies. Oh, and Finzi just cuts him off. Dimitri. And it hits it low, and that's game.
That's game point to Fincito. Series to them. That at the end there, that was some incredible Rocket League there. I'm flabbergasted. There was a beautiful effort from VDF. They played very well against such a strong opponent such as Fincito. But ultimately, Fincito is going to take the series for themselves. We will be back with you in just a moment. We just need to set up the lobby for the next matchup, which will be the grand finals. It will be Fincito refacing their opponent Rounds from earlier up in the upper bracket, and yeah, it's gonna be a showdown, a revenge match, probably the best way to put it. But we will be back.
Yeah, they'll be facing them again
in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. Here we go. We are just jumping straight into it. My co-caster has been replaced by the one and the only D-Lynch. D-Lynch, how are you feeling about this matchup? You know most of these players, don't you?
I would know. I'd know the names of most of them, or I'd know some of them more than others, but it's going to be interesting to see how all these players are going to do, because from personal experience, Jakku especially, they could be a bit sleepy, especially all these Finnish players being about 2 hours ahead or so, but you know, the want to go to bed over the want to win will be their motivation for winning this.
That is a great way to put it. Of course, it is a rematch between Rounds and Fincito. So definitely, a good matchup for sure. Best of 7 rounds with the 1 game advantage for making it all the way through the upper bracket in this tournament. And yeah, no, it's been an interesting one for sure. Saying that was an interesting goal from Jakku there.
I can't help but laugh. That's just comical. Like, it's unfortunate, it's unlucky, but like, it's just funny watching it back in slow motion.
Yeah, just it's on. You hate to have an own goal happen to you, but you love to see it when it happens to your opponents. And definitely a little bit of misfortune for the side of Fincito there, coming off of their own players into the back of their own net. Alex getting a nice touch. Jakku trying to send that home to the back of his opponent's net, but not quite making it. Fincy getting it, or Silas getting a touch back towards Fincy. Alex on the ball now, trying to head it towards goal, but Fincy managing to keep that out just in the nick of time. Silas on the ball now, back to Jakku, who's going to hit it back to Renshiro, a familiar name in the Néit Esports tournament world, and that's looked like it was for sure going to be an equalizing goal, but came off the crossbar. There it is, Silas knocking it home for his team, the equalizer they've been hunting down.
Rounds probably, Fincito probably should have scored previous to that, but they got a bit fortunate with the double commitment goal line and Rounds. Not going to be happy about that, Kip.
Not happy indeed. They're definitely going to be hunting for that lead once again, as it looks like a double commit from Alex and Jakku there. Tosses trying to take full advantage of that, but Renshiro getting in the way, getting a nice 50 back towards his opponent's net. Vinci getting the clearance, so back to his own corner. Silas and Tosses looking like they were going for a double commit, potentially trying to go for a pinch, but didn't work out in their favor, and Renshiro is going to knock that clear under the crossbar. Beautiful little finish there, off the ground, bouncing it up. And Silas trying to get a touch, but just wasn't quite there in the nick of time.
Can't get there, but it's a beautifully well-placed shot from Renshiro. The man has had years of experience, but it feels like in the bubble scene at this stage. So if you want one player on your team to be in that banker shot to make it in that right position, Renshiro is definitely the one. And the question is, can he lead his team to further goals?
That is the question. We saw Renshiro and Vinci have a dominating performance in the April 2v2 tournament, but there is an equalizing goal from Silas, just taking advantage of nobody being there to stop it from going in. Jakku got a little bit of a touch there, but it wasn't enough to keep it from going into their net. It is again 2-2, even Stevens, as another kickoff. I feel like this series is going to be very goal heavy. I said that about the last one and I was wrong, but being that these two teams are of the caliber that they are, I think I might be getting it right this time.
Normally you'd be wrong in that regard, just because of how good the caliber is. It probably would be very not goal heavy, but the fact that I'd say all these players definitely know each other, it'll lead to some shenanigans, to say the least.
we love shenanigans around here. A little bit of a fun one. But another kickoff, 3-2 to rounds now. Jarku full committing for that ball. Not quite getting a touch on it. Renshiro, beautiful save, but Fincy able to send it again. Nobody there to stop it. Just under the crossbar there. Going back to that save from Renshiro, that was beautiful. It was not. I definitely wouldn't have that kind of play in me.
Absolutely beautiful, but what seems to happen is rounds, they take the lead by a goal, they do some nice work, and then straight away they give up what seems like an easy enough goal. So it's really Fincy are like, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head with that one. Definitely going to be a very back and forth series, I think, in terms of both teams have something to prove now. You know, they all know each other, like you said. There's a little bit of shenanigans going on, but it's kind of, they're almost fighting for bragging rights more than the cash prize at the end of the day.
Indeed, it's just, they just don't want to really lose to their fellow countrymen more than anything. Now, I'm saying this, I'm 90% confident that at least 4 of these players are finished. I don't know about all 6. I could be wrong about that, but I think they are. Look,
Wow.
they'll correct us if I'm wrong, Gabe. And I'll get a lot of hate in the comments.
You'd know better than I would, as you're more familiar with these players. But yeah, no, I think, like you said, it's a case of they're 2 hours ahead, and they're just wanting they're wanting to go to bed now. They're wanting their lava.
They are very EP, as they say, in the biz, Gabe. But forget about all that rambling we're doing. We're heading into overtime. The game has went by so quickly. We're just kind of seeing goal after goal, and we're kind of forgetting, like, oh yeah, there is an actual objective to this, to win. But we're going to see now, can one team assert their dominance, find some over-exerting pressure. But Alex does just enough for his team and managed to at least somewhat buy his team some time.
Yeah, Jarku trying to get a touch, but not quite. Back towards Silas now. What can he make of this situation? Rancher is going to make it difficult for him to get the clearance. Fincy getting it off the backboard. Back to Jarku. Alex up for the ball. Getting the pass tosses. Don't want to be calling him tossing.
Ryan is still to this day trying to figure out how he read Tossie from Tossis. Simple mistake to make, but there is quite clearly an S on the end of his name.
Yeah, I have a strange feeling last tournament he had a bit of a difficulty with the name Fincy. He was calling him Fonzie for a while, but eventually somebody corrected him in the chat. But a minute and 15 seconds into this overtime now, still nobody getting a goal. There have been a couple close calls, but nothing just quite yet. Alex trying to get it set towards goal, but didn't quite get the angle on that touch he wanted. Renshiro making it difficult on his opponents to get the ball up the field. Alex going for it now, trying to get the reset. He does. Very close to going in, but tosses, managing to knock it clear just for the time being. Fincy off the backboard. Can he get the second touch? There he goes, pops it up, but Jarku in the midfield, managing to sneak away the ball from him. Renshiro trying to make it difficult for his opponent to get anything done. Alex on the ball now, still in their corner. Silas coming in very strong. Renshiro's gonna get the clearance back towards his opponent's net, and there's nobody there to stop it, and it's gonna come off the post and just roll in.
Renshiro, the man, the myth, the legend, coming up clutch just as his team needs. And now, give the most useful bit of information you're on here tonight. Rounds are in the most recent regional Open 4 are an RLCS top 12 team give. Wait, but according to Wikipedia, Jarku is the sub. But do you want to know who the 4th player is of rounds?
Who is the 4th player? I would love to know.
Fincy.
Fincy's the 4th player.
who is on the opposite team.
I did know that they were teammates as they competed together in the last Néit Esports tournament in April, but I did not know he was the fourth player.
Yes, they are top as of the most recent region. They are top 12 RLCS APAC team game.
That's some pretty impressive stats right there.
Especially playing on that thing.
Yeah, it's definitely something I will never achieve in my lifetime. But I'm very much happy to be able to have the privilege of casting players of this caliber. Back into technically game 3 now, as Rams came into this grand final with that 1-game advantage. They just need to win 2 more to secure themselves the cash prize, but also the bragging rights of beating their acquaintances. We won't say friends at this moment in time because they are playing against each other and really trying to go for each other's throats in this matchup. Silas not quite getting the touch on that ball, but Fitzy able to clear up shop. Jarku back to Alex, just send it towards his opponent's net, but Tosses able to intercept that, bring it back into the midfield, back towards Silas. He's going to get a nice touch, back to Jarku though. He got a touch, and Alex, very, very nice, clean defending there. Lesser man, such as myself, probably would have hit that into my own net.
Clean is an interesting word to give when he had all the time in the world, but we move. He got the ball away. That's all that matters. And you know what? Contrary to what you were saying last game, we're already starting to see it be a lot more of a closer affair right now. Kind of very back and forth. No team really exerting too much pressure. I was going to say Fincy. That is his team. Yes. No. Finito. Fincito. Fincito have been, I'd say, put on the pressure a bit more, but rounds, they are doing well to deal with it at this moment in time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the caster's curse has come back to bite me once again. I said that it was going to be a high scoring, a plethora of goals in this series, but we're already with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock, and nobody has yet to score a goal. Although Renshiro sending it back, almost taking one for himself, but the side of Rens or Fitzito getting the clearance on that one. Renshiro off the crossbar, tosses, managing to get a clearance, but Jarku in the way, trying to get a nice double touch on that. Alex sending it home, but getting denied, and Renshiro there to clean up shop, make sure that they get that lead in the end.
It's not a rounds offense without Renshiro slotting it away. Once again, comes in clutch for his team. And in our lovely Néit Tribute tournament, it is rounds 1-0 to the good with just over 2 minutes remaining. And the caster's curse strikes again, just as I start talking, and I'm about to oh yeah, well done, finally. Here we go, rounds concedes. Typical.
Yeah, that is just the way the cookie crumbles. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock. Another kickoff. It's once again anybody's game. Beautiful ball sent from the side of Fincito back towards Aranza's net, but Alex able to intercept that off the backboard. Renshiro going up for that. Can he find his teammate who is getting in position, but it's looking like it's gonna go in anyway. Not quite sure who that came off of. Tosses, knocking it into his own goal. It has to happen. It has to happen at least once in a series. But it seems to have happened twice this one.
Very possibly. And I'm telling you now, Gib, it's not the last time we won't see some weird shenanigans on the net side, and Alex just couldn't convert that. Fincy and Silus. What have you been Ryan saying?
Back to Fincy now, who's going to do a little bit of trickery over Renshiro there. Back Jarku cutting it out in the midfield and taking it back towards his opponent's net. Tosses managing to stop that for the time being. Alex playing the man a little bit. Silas off the back wall. Jarku trying to cut him out, but getting a bump, not the ball. Back to Renshiro now. Sending it home with power, trying to get a goal for his team. Open up that lead that little bit more. Trying to secure this series for themselves early on. Renshiro on the ball once again, trying to play the man, trying to get it past Tosses, but not quite successful. Silas bringing the ball up and getting a demo on Alex. Back to Renshiro now. He's trying to pass it out to his teammate, and it's gonna go straight from Fincito's side of the pitch into the back of the net of Rounds. That was a very nice timed shot from Vinci there.
Vinci, he knows all these three players very well, predicts the passing lane perfectly, and catches out that last man who doesn't really expect there to be such a clean intercept, and easy as you like for Fincito. But the job isn't done yet. The game is still drawn at this point, and they are still 2-0 down the series, so they will need to make some magic happen because they need to win this game. If they don't, they're looking at a potential reverse sweep. But as I say that, Fincy, come at the man, come at the hour. 20 seconds left, he puts his team in the lead, and that is probably going to be the most crucial goal of the series so far again.
Yeah, it could potentially be a deciding factor in this match if they can hold on for the next 20 seconds and stop their opponent from scoring on them again. It could potentially be giving themselves a lifeline in this series now that Rounds are up by 2 games. Back to Alex now. The countdown is on. Double commit from the side of Fincito. Trying to make sure it touches the ground, and there it is. They're going to take a game for themselves. They've given themselves that little bit more of a lifeline, and they've stopped Rounds from taking yet another game for themselves.
That is what Fincito needs. They really need to take that game. They would not have liked a reverse sweep whatsoever. Now, for the purposes of everyone's bedtime involved, no, it is not good. But in their chances of taking home their cash prize, their chances of getting that brown envelope, they have really done a favour for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely the side of Rounds are thinking, oh, thought we could have got this over and done with quickly so I can go to bed. And Vincito are thinking, come on, boys, lock in. We've got a chance now. Well, we've got more of a chance now. But anyway, another kickoff, another game. Potential here for the comeback for the side of Fincito if they can keep that momentum going for themselves. Tosses in the midfield now, trying to get the reset, but Alex shutting it down. Back to Fincy, who's passing it up. Back to Silas now, but Renshiro getting in the way of that ball, stopping him from going to the back of his net. Alex, Fincy going up to meet him, but didn't quite have enough boost. Renshiro trying to get the shot off, but getting demoed by Silas. And there it is. Alex is going to open up the scoreline very quickly in this game.
That is exactly what they needed, especially after dropping that last game. A nice quick opening goal there. And we do have a little question in the chat for this. So if you look on the screen, it says upper finals. That is incorrect. This is actually the grand final. So this is will be the final series of the stream.
Yes, somebody has forgotten to change the stream title. It was me. I'll take full blame for that one. But yes, the grand finals. This is technically game 4, as Rounds did go in with that 1-game advantage. I also noticed in the chat that there was talk that Fincy was actually on holidays until today, and this team of Fincito is a very short notice entry into the competition. And if it is, fair play to him. I definitely wouldn't be this on the ball. Coming back from holiday, Silas almost knocking that into the back of his own net. Once again, could have been another own goal from the side of Fincito. Finzi able to cut that out. Not much of a bother to him. Had enough time, had enough space to make sure that didn't go in. Renshiro getting a 50. Taking it off the wall now. Finzi on the backboard. Making sure nothing came of it. Back to Jarku. Back to Alex, who's going to pass it back to Jarku, who's going to go for an attempt, but tosses in the way, stopping that from becoming an even larger goal disparity. Now, Alex on the ball, taking it high. What can he make of this situation? Finzi going up to meet him, knocking it back to his own corner towards Tosses, who's now on the ball. Jarku in the midfield, cutting it out. Silas taking it back towards... That was a risky play, taking it outfield, and his opponent coming in, but managing to stay away from the danger for the time being. Alex going up to meet that ball. Back to Tosses in the corner. He's on full boost now. Going to make this back to Silas. He's going to be trying to dribble it down the field. Tosses able to intercept that. Renshiro on the ball now. It's down to Finzi. Last man back. He's going to be bringing it up into the midfield now. Trying to get the reset on that. Didn't quite manage it. Tosses taking the ball from him. It's mid in the box, but nice clearance on the side of rounds from Jarku.
You've just kind of cursed it ever since the first game, goals galore, and ever since been kind of a bit of a slower kind of pace, slower goal amount. I think you would have been better off saying nothing give.
Yeah, it's probably best if I don't comment on the score lines in the future, because clearly I have some sort of caster's curse. But
you and everyone else in the world give.
Definitely looking like a much slower paced game, this one. But so Silas on the ball, trying to hit it back towards his opponent's corner. Finzi very aggressively pushing in there. Silas trying to go for it, but didn't quite get the touch he wanted. Finzi's in the back there. Managed to get past one man, past two mans, just one to beat. Jarku managing to clear that for the time being. The danger isn't gone just yet. Jarku managing to get the clearance. Back to Renshiro. Finzi going up to meet him, getting a touch on the ball, but Alex in the way. Silas back to his opponent's corner, getting a nice touch off that wall. Back to Jarku. Tosses in the mid, trying to get it in past Renshiro, and he's moved his man out of the way, but Jarku managing to sneak in the save there just in the nick of time when his team really needed him. Tosses back to Finzi, but didn't quite get the pass off. Silas now on the ball, and there's the equalizer. They've been searching pretty much the entire game for that one, with 24 seconds left on the clock. Potentially another overtime for them if they can hold on to this equal footing.
Unfortunately, Jarku just had no boost. The amount of pressure coming out from Franciso was just too great. They couldn't capitalize. Or they couldn't really get out of it, I should say. It was good capitalizing by Franciso, but I see here a ground pitch coming out from Jarku. It looks like we're about to have another overtime give, unless they can capitalize right now. Alex could have been questionable passing the infield there, but the ball could be about to drop, and it does. And in this game number 4, we do have overtime, and just as it was crucial that last game for Francito, this will be just as crucial, because Ravens, it's not in, but Ravens, if they can't win this game, it'll be all drawn. If they can, they'll be one game away from tournament point, or they will be at tournament point. But Finzi pops the ball to Tosses. He's getting that infield now. Gets one pass from Shearer. The ball needs to be put on net. It's between the ball. Silas manages to capitalise, and we have ourselves a drawn series again.
Yeah, it's level pegging now. Nobody's going to bed early. Definitely Fincito coming out the gate swinging, trying to make sure that rounds don't get an easy win from them.
No, what they need It's some nice, easy goals. That's what we'd love. But as much as I'm on about how everyone it's late for everyone, especially the players with their time zone difference, to like us, Gib. They're doing everything in their powers to not go to bed.
Clearly, they're bringing it back. You know, I'm not gonna say anything, but I have a prediction in my head of what could happen, and nobody's going to bed anytime soon if it does. Now another kickoff in this game 5. Who's gonna take the cake in this one? Because that will be the deciding factor as to who is in tournament point. But neither team is going to be wanting to make it easy for their opponents. Silas trying to get the reset there, not quite getting it. Finzi on the ball, getting the ball back towards his opponent's corner. Renshiro now. Jarku's going to take possession of it. Finzi sending it back towards his opponent's corner, but Renshiro, beautiful read off that corner wall. Finzi now, 0 boost. He's looking for a teammate, but nobody there to read a pass. Tosses on the back line. Getting a nice pop. Sending it back towards the midfield. Jarku able to intercept that very cleanly. Not much of a bother to him. Finzi coming in flying with such power. Trying to knock his man off the ball. Tosses getting it back. But Finzi taking possession in the midfield after that clearance. Silas trying to keep the ball down towards his opponent's side of the pitch, but Alex managing to get the clearance. Tosses now in with a position, but Renshiro coming flying up from underneath, getting the touch on the ball, making sure that there was no double touch possibility. Now tosses in his own corner, back towards the midfield, back towards Finzi. Gets a 50, but not quite in his own favor. Alex on the ball. Nice 50 back towards his corner. Renshiro trying to play his man over Finzi it goes, but Silas managing to get the clearance. Now Alex trying to play the ball. Tosses making it difficult. He was playing time, making sure his teammates were in a position to rotate. Finzi taking a touch. Alex sending it back towards midfield, but Tosses able to intercept. Sending it for goal, but Alex getting a body in the way, making sure nothing comes of it. Renshiro on the ball. We know he's dangerous in these positions. Flicks beautifully, but nobody there to read that pass.
No one there, indeed. But Alex gonna try and dribble this out from his own corner. Can't want to get as far as the midfield. Alex gets the cross, faces on net, but no one was there. Tosses getting pre-jumped instantly by Alex. Jarku hits it towards the corner. It gets the read, but can only hand it as far as Silas. Jarku taking it back on the ball. Tosses trying to find his teammate there, but Alex positioned brilliantly again. Gets a nice sidewall read there. Just to try and relieve a bit of pressure for his team. 3 minutes almost gone on the clock. Still no goals now. Tension is building from this point. Both sides don't want to concede now. Rounds, they really need to regain some form from previous in tournament. That's a brilliant save by Alex. Jarku. The backflip there. Managed to get the block. The pressure now from Vincito is on. Tosses. He can find it there, but that's Jarku. How an unbelievable save. And Silas, the pressure. Again, it's building. He gets one reset. Alex again with the 50. Oh my god, the pressure just keeps on building.
Yeah, it seems like one counter attack after another, and each time my heart skips a beat when they get close to scoring a goal. But now Finzi in a position of danger. He passes it back to Tosses. Can he get the right angle on this? Not quite. Back to Silas. Back to Finzi. Once again, he's going over. He's trying to get a double touch, but nothing quite comes of it. And Tosses is going to score the opening goal almost 4 minutes into this game. Could that be the decider in this match?
Potentially, it could be. Kickoff goals could be in favour of Rounds, but that goal looked almost a certainty with how much pressure Vincito were putting on. It was inevitable. It was rather when they were going to score rather than if at that stage game.
Yeah, they were definitely mounting on the pressure. Ooh, very close attempt there. Finzi getting in the way of Renshiro's shot. just in the nick of time. Back to Silas off the backboard. Advancing between two of the players on the side of Rounds, but nothing comes of this situation. Vinci went up for that ball, but didn't quite get the touch he wanted. Silas flying in and trying to get another goal for his team. Back to Tosses now. What can he make of the situation? He's got possession. He had time. Vinci now sending it back towards his opponent's side of the pitch. Renshiro, not a bother on him getting that clearance. Wasn't too troubled by that save. And Silas managing to just get that touch, and it looked like a demo coming in from his teammate. Sorry, I'm momentarily flabbergasted as to what just happened. Had to wrap my
Renshiro
head
got
around
demoed
that.
on the way back. A big demo coming out. That was it, Gib. But either way, 3 games on the bounce. After not taking a game at all in the upper final, to then go 2-0 down in the series, Gib, and then win 3 games on the trot. Conceiso are looking like they're in flying form right now.
Yeah, they seem to have found their stride that little bit more. They didn't have a great matchup in the upper bracket against Rennes initially. And then potentially going down to the lower bracket and playing those extra couple of games might have given them that little bit of an edge that they needed.
Quite possibly. Could have been the exact edge they needed, but this is still far from over. Now, it is tournament point for Fincito. They only need 1 more game. But if we've seen anything, we know this round side, we know exactly what they're capable of. It's going to be very interesting to see, can they try and regain their form? Kind of forget what happened these last couple of games. And just play solid together. And just give the ball to Renshiro with an open net. That is game plan number 1, I'd have to make it.
Yeah, just make sure that you're going for those demos. There's nobody there to stop the ball from going in, and pass it to Renshiro and let him do the rest. That
Oh,
would
the demo
definitely-
coming from. I'll let you speak, Kim. I'll let you. Sorry.
No.
Apologies for interrupting.
No, fire ahead, but that was a timely demo coming out from the side of Rounds, and then Renshiro managing to get it into the box, into the center, and Alex finishing it off. A beautiful team goal, I must say so myself, but another kickoff, 4 minutes and 16 seconds left on the clock. Silas getting back down to the midfield. Alex is there. He's on full boost. What can he make of this situation? Trying to get it down towards his opponent. Gets the reset, but Fincy able to intercept that. Tosses now. Bringing it down towards his opponent's net. Nice clearance from Alex towards his own corner. Back to himself. Silas trying to make it difficult to get that full pitch dribble. Renshiro on the ball now. Silas taking possession back towards his opponent's side of the pitch. Tosses in a position to center it, but nothing comes of it. Nice clearance from Alex. Vinci tried to make a challenge. Didn't quite look like he got a touch on the ball, but his teammate was able to clean up shop. Renshiro now on the ball. Trying to pop it up, trying to play the man, and there it is. He slots it past 3 defenders like it was no issue to him whatsoever.
Really negligible by Renshiro, but I must admit, on the defense, it looked like it was the Paris in the Red Sea game. They all kind of just went off the side and let Renshiro just air dribble it straight down the middle of the net.
Yeah, it just seemed to me that maybe they were asleep at the wheel there. Nobody really went for that apart from Vinci, and nobody certainly went up to make up the slack that Vinci maybe needed them to. But another kickoff, 2-0 to the side of Rennes. They're trying to secure the win for themselves. There it is, Jarku managing to get Nice pass from Alex. Jarku slotting it in, top bins. Managing to secure an even greater lead over their opponent. Seems like potentially the side of Fincito are getting a little bit tired.
Complacent give might be the word. It's been a bit too easy coasting for them so far, these last 3 games. So they still have plenty of time, over half the game. If Rounds can do it, why can't they score 3 goals in this half of the game? But depending on how the rest of the game goes, they might want to use a lot of it as a potential reset, find out what form works for them and how exactly they intend on dismantling this side in game 7. But Jarku with the double tap gets it past 1. Gonna try and find the angle, and he does. That was absolutely brilliant from Jarku.
Beautiful finish. Very clinically done for Jarku there. 4-0 to the side of Rams now. I feel like they realized the amount of pressure that was on them now. You know, they came into this series the top dogs, for lack of a better term. Another goal for Jarku as well. That's a hat-trick for him now. But they came into this series the top dogs. You know, Fincito had to claw their way back through the lower bracket. Being that they were 1 game down there, potentially it gave them the motivation to kind of get back into this fight.
They need to really show their heart. They need to stay in the fight. Because if we see in here, if they give them any chances, Rounds will just keep scoring. So if they have any chance they want to win the rest of the series, so they need to find that heart and kind of sort out exactly what's been going wrong for them.
Yeah, looking like Rands are trying to take this to a game 7, and not being much of a reply from the side of Fincito. 5 goals down with 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. Jarku, another goal to him now. Slotting that in pretty nicely on the crossbar, I must say.
It was a lovely finish in the end, and Jarku, he's really brought out his shooting boots for this game 6 gives. 4 goals just from him alone. He's really kind of finding the piece of the puzzle that has been working so well for him. At 7, this is just getting well out of hand for Rounds, and I would love I would never encourage intentional conceding, but maybe a fake kickoff goes around to set up the Brazil give.
Potentially could be the way they go with this.
Never mind. They ruined my hopes and dreams, Gib.
Yeah, that was they're really running away with this one. It's probably the best way I can put it. Potentially they're looking for that. They're definitely looking for that game 7. No, it's not even a potential anymore. They're looking for that game 7. Jarku now has 5 goals to his name. They're trying to assert their dominance almost over their opponent and show them going into this game 7, we're in control and there's nothing you can do about it. We're in the driver's seat.
After this game has completed, we will be taking the short little breaks while we're waiting for Vinci, who apparently has been experiencing some severe frame drop, so he will be restarting his game after this. 9 goals. That is very confusing based on the rest of the series. But I suppose when you're so many goals down, Rounds are just going to keep scoring. If it's Cito, I think I've kind of already lost this game in the back of their mind, you know?
Yeah, they've somewhat accepted their own fate. Now that they're 10 goals down, but you know, they're still in it. They're not out of the tournament just yet, but it seems that the side of rounds are just having a field day now that they've secured themselves that game 7. They're making sure that their opponent knows it, that they're here to stay and they're here to win the tournament.
They really are. Now, we won't let this game be any final indicator, but anyone in the chat right now, can we have your predictions? Who do you think is going to win? Some of you know these players up better than new. Rex are in the chat, etc. Who do you expect to win versus who do you actually want to win? Could be the same thing, could be different. Let's hear some opinions, because I think I'd expect rounds to win, Gabe, but I think it's going to be potentially too close to tell.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to think about, considering that Fincito had that comeback. They were 2 games down, and then they were 2 games even, and it seems to me that maybe they just possibly had a bad game, and if they can get past that mentally, then they'd be in for potentially a very close game as to who's going to take this game 7, who's going to take this tournament, who's going to take the prize, and ultimately who's going to take the bragging rights.
It's going to be very interesting to see, because all these players, they all know each other so well. It's like whoever, it is really about the bragging rights, you know?
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, it's all about the bragging rights.
That's. I'm now gonna. They're on about who's the unk of this lobby, and they really give. All they're trying to find out is. It. Question is why. Why is. Am I pushing 40? Basically, that's what they're trying to find out. But no, that's not it. Let's see. Do we still have? We're still waiting, are we? Yeah, we're still waiting.
Still waiting on Fincy to return. However, in the, I think it was last game, it could have been the game before, I made a silent prediction to myself that none of these players are going to bed anytime soon, because it was gonna go to a game 7. And at least one of my predictions has come true today, because let me tell you, none of them have until this point in time. But definitely, I think that the teams are going to be feeling the eepiness, as you had once said. And I think you and I are definitely feeling it as well at this moment in time, as we go into Game 7, just waiting on Fincy to come back into the lobby now.
Waiting. We're gonna have to try and fill this void somehow. I'm having a great time reading the in-game party chat game that you do not have turned on. It's absolutely brilliant watching the watching the rest of them roast each other in this lobby.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've seen what happens when you don't have the party chat muted on stream, so have to play it safe, especially considering we had so many newcomers to this tournament. And of course, if you are watching this and you would like to be a part of our next tournament, I'm going to leak it now. I'm 99% sure that we are running a tournament in June. And if you would like to be part of the next tournament, you should join the Discord now. And if you would like to gain access to the Discord, just type !Discord into the chat right now. It will be, the link will come up, you can join it, and you'll be the first to hear about any upcoming tournaments in the future. And of course, you can also find all of our social media links in our Discord as well, where we do post daily. For the most part, there's a couple days we miss here and there just due to wanting to put out quality content. But of course, be sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube as well, because we post daily out there. As we get into this game 7, here we go. It's now or never. This is the decider as to who will take home the money and the bragging rights.
More importantly, Gabe, as they've been saying in chat, it's between Fincy and Jerku. This is really the battle of who's going to be on the round's main roster for the rest of the RLCS split. That's what this is really about.
Yeah, it's a battle for that seed. It's almost like F1.
And now who will take over in the House of Rounds? Will it be Sir Jerku, or will it be Lord Fincy? Only time will tell. But
only
yes.
4 minutes to decide who will take that position. But Jarku is going to open up this match. 54 seconds into it. Nicely timed goal. Nice positioning there in a good angle to slot that home past Tossis. 1-0 to Rands now.
And Rowan's got 2 up because Sir Jerku of the House of Blue and the Co are really showing up right now. And I'll be absolutely fuming with them if they win this game. For the sole fact is, they could... Now, the content-wise, we absolutely love a Game 7. But for my sanity and everyone wanting to go to bed, they absolutely could have made us a sweep. But no, we live for the content, Gabe, and they are certainly providing.
Yeah, they know what the audience wants. And they're definitely serving it up to them.
They've read your very televised script again.
Yeah, they know all their lines. They know all their marks. Alex hitting it home. Tosses in the way to stop it. Silas coming out of the corner. Missing the ball. Letting it drop, but Jarku bringing it back towards his opponent's net. Finzi on the backboard there. Doesn't quite go on target. Getting full boost. Renshiro on the ball now. Silas getting the intercept. Back to Finzi. Getting a nice touch off that wall. Back to Renshiro. Back to Tosses. It's a ping-pong affair once again. Back to Alex. Back to Finzi. What can he make of this situation off the backboard? Renshiro's going up to stop him, but Tosses getting a better touch off that one. Back to Silas now. He's going to try and read that sidewall. Back to Tosses now, or Finzi's going to take the ball. Tosses on full boost once again. Back to him, drops down. It's in with a chance, but off the post, and out it comes. Could have been a chance for them to claw back just a point on the board. No matter, there will be more chances. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Renshiro trying to make his opponent's life difficult. Back to Alex, getting a beautiful clearance off that one. Silas getting an intercept. Nicely done, but Jarku able to make a clearance. Back to himself now. Tosses on the ball, but Renshiro waiting in the corner for that ball to drop. Back to Silas now. He's going to take a shot, but it's wide. Alex getting clearance. Back towards his opponent's side of the pitch. Tosses making sure that nothing comes of that for the time being. Getting a bump on the ball. Silas with power behind him. Back to Jarku, who we saw in the last game. Very dangerous man in those positions. Silas trying to get it back towards his opponent, trying to make sure that they can claw back a goal. Finzi going to go for it, but Renshiro throwing a spanner in the works for his plan. It is still 2-0 to the side of Rands, looking like Sir Jarku going to be taking that seat in the Rands roster. Finzi on the ball. Getting a demo on Renshiro. Back to Alex now. Playing time, playing his opponent. Trying to bounce it off the ground. Tosses now. Renshiro cutting it out, but Finzi getting the bump on the ball. Back to Jarku, who's going to cut out that play in the midfield. Back to Silas, who's going to be bringing it down. Trying to get it past his man. Tosses now back to Jarku. It's all getting a little bit scrappy in this moment in time. Silas going for that full boost, going off the back wall, back towards Finzi, who's going to get a touch. Back to Tosses. With Jarku in the midfield, able to cut that out. Silas going with power, going with speed, flying, soaring through the air. Renshiro on the ball. He's dangerous. Tosses getting the clearance. It's going over for the time being, but no, it's not. Jarku is going to slot it home. 3-0 with 30 seconds on the clock. It's looking all but decided now.
Time is in the favor of rounds. 3 goals to the good. But. We've had some early GG's calls in the Twitch chat, Gabe. I'd like to say they're almost guaranteed to be true, but they need a goal off this very attack right now. But no, I'm calling it, Gabe. That is the GG's. That surely has to be. Yeah, that's it. I'm calling it.
Yeah, 10 seconds left. It's looking like Rands have taken... I guess technically Rands will have taken 2 tournaments for themselves in the Néit Esports tournament scene in the server. And it is all but confirmed. Consolation prize for the side of Fincito there. 1 goal for themselves.
We've already had silos left the match, but either way, that is a big GG's. 2 rounds. The Néit 3v3 champions. They take home our lovely cash prize give, and they certainly made it quite an adventure this tournament, give, haven't they?
Most certainly, they have provided the entertainment for the masses. Is probably the best way I can put it. They were up 2 games. They were even. They were down a game. They brought it back, and then they won the series. They won the tournament for themselves. That is, yeah. They've gotten the prize money, and most importantly, they've gotten the bragging rights, of course. But that will be all from us this evening, of course. If you would like to take part in future tournaments from us at Néit Esports, be sure to join the Discord. If you are not in there already, and if you want to see some highlights, highlights, some funny moments, and a little bit of shenanigans, be sure to check out our social medias, where you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Of course, the full VOD of the stream will be put up on YouTube. I have been your caster, Gib. I have been joined for the grand finals by the wonderful D Lynch, and of course we were joined by Large Ryan earlier on in the stream. That will be all from us, but do take care, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye bye.